Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How very nice. I was just waiting.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very nice.
sir.
I was just waiting for the screen to show up. Am I audible? Am I clear? Good. Okay. So abbreviations started coming. So there, my BTech is from IIT Kanpur, and there we refer to everybody by abbreviations, even the professors. So there was an A, which was I think Akash. Then there was a Ba, and then there was a Ga, and then a Ha. So it was sort of. We don't in IIT Delhi. We don't refer to people by their abbreviations. You see, so it reminded me of my own BTech days. Okay, can you see the video? Or, because sometimes the video is not so clear. Is it visible? Maybe the convener can answer. It's okay, and the voice is okay, right? The voice is.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because
sir.
this is also the first time I'm doing it. Last semester I wasn't here, so this is my first class, right? Online. I just want to make sure. Okay, good. So let us. So this is BBL133. So let us just summarize what we want to do in the first class. Okay, I mean, there are 2 or 3 things before we start that just have to be worked out. Of course, I shall tell you all the weightages for this course. Okay, what is the weightage for major, minor, etc., etc. That's one thing we want to do. Then if somebody has any questions on audit, I don't think there would be any audit. You can ask me. Then in my when they sent me the Microsoft Teams course, there were only 15. So my attendance list has only 15, but now more have joined. So definitely I would like to have a final list on my this thing, because there is 10% for attendance in the course. I shall tell you about that, right? Then maybe let everyone join. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, then a little bit about what the course is about, is going to entail. So you see, this is an interesting type of course. I mean, see, mass balance and energy balance are so basic to all engineering that sometimes one feels that can it even be taught, because it's just balancing material, right? How much is coming in, how much is going out, and then depending on the type of process, what's happening inside, is something accumulating, and where is that mass going? So we just follow the material. 1 minute, there's an airplane. Yeah, and as you know, mass can be labeled, right? So, and mass can be assayed. I mean, a compound can be assayed. We can have a test for it. We can measure how much there is, how much of that gas or liquid or solid, whatever comes in. We can measure how much of it goes out. If it's a reaction, we can measure how much of it reacts. We know how much of it is unconsumed. And in principle, we can carry this out for in a steady state. We can do it in a batch mode. We can do it in an unsteady state. And then the number of complications that we can add is just innumerable. So the question is that this also, the problem is that this also calculations course. I mean, of course, everyone knows these principles, that you have to balance mass is conserved. We learned that at school itself. But here we have to also do calculations. Now, per se, these calculations are not very difficult. It's not that we are using calculus, except perhaps in some unsteady state type of systems where we have to solve differential equations. But initially, we don't start with that, right? So per se, the calculations are arithmetic type of calculations, and yet this is only the second time I'm teaching this class. But the first time, what we found is that even though the calculations are simple, for a particular question, not everybody gets those calculations right. This is exactly what had happened in my own calculations course in chemical engineering at IIT Kanpur BTech. I mean, the principles are very simple. Yet, in that 1 hour or whatever time that you have, many times we cannot complete the thing, or we just don't get those calculations right. So there is always gradation. I mean, it's very easy to grade because you get a whole distribution. All right. So now this time I think there is only one minor. So please take down. We are going to have 30% for minor 1. %30 for minor 1, and we have 40% for the major. 40% for the major. So that makes it 70. Then we have 20%. What? This calculations course is full of processes, right? There are just so many different types of processes to manufacture a particular compound, etc. So you have to form a group of 5 or 6, and you have a whole semester. You can choose any one process. You can draw the flow sheet. You can do the mass balance. Later we will teach you energy balance between, I mean, normally after minor 1, but now there is only one minor. So you can do the energy balance if you have the information.